All right, everybody, we're here with Morgan Paraskavis. I finally got your name right. Are you impressed? Yes.
I'm impressed.
And obviously,
Yeah, because if they'd have left his last name to me, we'd still be sitting here.
you know how
It's just not
George and I
gonna get
just
done.
chop out names, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to ask you a couple questions. Talk to us about the academy. Talk about how you got started. Talk about some of your credentials. I know you are not a cocky man, and I know I want just everybody out there to know. Morgan was like, "Look, Kevin, I don't want to look cocky or anything. I don't want to, look like I'm bragging or anything." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. We're still going to ask you some of your credentials because people like to know these things." Now he's like, "Wait till I put you in a judo flip after this." don't tap me out, man.
You're lucky it's uncut.
It's uncut, so I could get tapped out and put in an arm bar. Anyway, how did you get started? What got you started in BJJ? And was that the first thing you did, or was it something else that you kind of just like? A lot of people morph into another type of martial art.
Well, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a martial artist, and I played soccer most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to a certain age, and you're not going anywhere in soccer. After 28, 30 years old, it's kind of over. But before that, I wanted to do jiu-jitsu, and after seeing the UFC, I guess like everybody did,
Right.
I was looking for a school, and I met Mario Yamazaki,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to see him, and basically told him, "Listen, I'm going to come and train next month." And
Right.
he looked at me kind of like, whatever, he sees 100,000 people that goes through the door. They say they're going to do it, but they're not going to do it. And then I came back the month after,
Mhm.
and that's it. I've been with them for a very long time now. Well, 16, 17 years.
Wow.
Now,
Even more.
you said as a child you wanted to be a mixed martial artist?
No,
or
no, martial artist.
Martial artist. So
as a child, you want to be a karate black belt,
Right.
kung fu black belt,
Right.
whatever.
So who'd you look up to? What inspired you to do that, or want to be that?
Bruce Lee.
I don't know.
Chuck Norris, because you kind of look like Chuck Norris. You ever been in Delta Force or anything? No movies.
None of that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I guess he was watching martial art movies on TV.
Right.
I cannot remember per se who it was, but everybody, when you're a kid, and you like to fight.
Right.
I think you want to do martial art, and everybody dreams, I want to be a black belt, And
Right.
So
And you just
that's I think the reason why in America they have a lot of martial arts schools that give you a black belt in 2 years, and that's very enticing for kids.
Right.
But it's not correct, because it's.
So it should be more earned over
Of course,
time.
I mean, a black belt is very special. It takes anywhere from 7 to 15, 20 years to get one.
Right.
So you don't want to give it away to a kid.
You got that
after-
much time, George? Because I mean,
No,
never
sir.
too late.
No, I will get a white
Now,
belt and paint it black.
You grew up. You're French, right?
Oui.
We. Now, when did you come to the States?
1982.
1982. So
Yeah.
you've been here for a good minute then.
Yeah, but then a good minute.
Yeah.
It's a good minute. Yeah, I came back and forth. I moved back to Europe and came back again.
Right.
And moved to the east, to the west coast in California. But I always remained Yamazaki student. I was always a
Right.
Yamazaki student, and I'm a Yamazaki instructor.
Yeah. Those guys are great guys. Mario. I've known Mario since probably 1995, 96, since he opened up his first studio in Rockville. So he's funny. If you really get to know him, Mario can be a funny guy. He can be a clown in his own way. But let me ask you this. I know you didn't want us to touch on this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell me a little bit about some of the things you've accomplished. Actually, what's your biggest accomplishment? Some of your biggest accomplishments. You don't have to go down the list because I know that shit's like crazy long.
Well, in jiu-jitsu, I mean, I won the European Championship twice
Mm-hmm.
as a black belt, 2007, 2011, and I won the Pan Ams. And last year I did third place at the World Championship for over 30. It's called the Master Seniors.
Right.
So even though it's not the adult division where you're fighting the young superstars, you kind of fighting the legends, the one that used to be the superstars.
Right.
So it's
Very competitive still.
very competitive, and it's in Brazil. So you're fighting the drums, the atmosphere. It's pretty tough.
Right.
It's a good experience.
Now, the federation that you compete in, what is that called again?
IBJJF,
Right. That's like the
International
most,
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. IBJJF, yeah.
right. It's probably the most world-renowned one
Yes.
as of right now. Wow. What's your next thing?
Well, Pan American Games are coming up this month, but my body's a little tight. I don't know if I'm going to be ready to compete.
Right.
So I'm training, but I'm not training the way I'm supposed to, and you have to train a certain way to be able to be competitive. I don't want to go there and just like represent.
Right.
Last year I got second place at the Pan American Games, so it was like, you want to win, and
Right.
to win you got to be 100%.
Yeah, it takes. I don't think a lot of people realize how much dedication and time it takes to get ready for. I mean, and that's the thing with just mixed martial arts in general. It's hard. you're a mixed martial artist. I mean, you have to be good at BJJ. You got to be good at stand-up. You got to have great conditioning. I think a lot of people don't get that concept. I think they think they're good or excel at one thing. And we talked about that one time. Like, I was like, well, why didn't you ever want to did you ever consider fighting MMA? And you're like, jiu-jitsu, that's just one aspect of it that, requires so much dedication.
Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I can feel it.
He's like breathing on your neck.
Contrary to what other people out there think, when people speak, you actually, you look at them. So I'm just paying you the respect, and Kevin as well.
Right.
But one thing you mentioned is that you didn't want to compete unless you were 100%. And one thing I think you hear so often after one of the UFC fights, because this is all I can compare it to, so I apologize. They often say, I wasn't 100% for this fight. I was nicked. I was dinged. Are you ever at 100% when you compete, or is there always maybe a little nagging something here or there?
100% meaning I can train at 100%. I cannot train the right way. I mean, you're never going to be 100%. You're always going to have injuries, but I'm not able to train the way I want to right now. So that's what I mean by.
And your mindset as well.
Well, my mindset, it would be there, but I mean, it's a lot of sports. Any sports, they're going to tell you you have to have the confidence.
Right.
So if you're not training the way you should be training, you're not going to have the confidence you should have, and it's going to play in the fight. So you want to have the confidence. I'm pretty confident I can do well, but am I confident that I'm going to win it? It's a different story. So that's the reason why I'm training, and maybe a week or two before, which is coming up soon.
Right.
I'll decide whether I go or not.
You're going to do it.
So do you consult with a certain group of coaches, like your conditioning or strength, or it's all up to you?
It's me. I can feel my body. I mean, nobody knows my body better than me. So I have a conditioning coach that trains me really well, prepares me well.
Now, who is that?
His name is Justin Case.
Okay.
And he trains out of Fairfax, Virginia, on-the-ground athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I've trained with him for, I think, about 2 years, and this guy is phenomenal. I mean, he's just a phenomenal strength and conditioning coach, and he's going to push you to limits that, like they make movies out of this, like Hostel movies. Like you'll be screaming and crying.
Right.
But depends on who you are. I mean, he doesn't treat everybody the same. Obviously, he's pushing me to different levels. He trains a couple of MMA guys as well, and one from the school. His name is Diego Peclat.
Right.
So he trains him as well, and you
say
can
that
see
shit 3 times fast.
Nah. Okay. I got the Diego part down.
Diego.
Right.
So he trains high-level guys, and he gets incredible results, and he's a phenomenal strength and conditioning coach.
I've actually heard about Justin Case. I mean,
you mentioned that last time.
Yeah, he's very well known in the area. That name is like classic too. Just in case you're out of shape, So I just but he is. You're not the only person that has brought him up to be in being serious. Now. What about with your body? When your body gets broken down, because I think a lot of people out there, and why we want to come in and do this interview with you, Morgan, is because you have a lot of insight. George and I blah 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 and just spark off the mouth, and people don't get to really know us. Morgan was like, you guys might get your ass kicked coming up in here today, because some people are like, these guys think they're, the shit, but we're not. But we don't have, George and I don't have the insight, obviously, as an athlete like you do, so far as preparing, your body breaking down, conditioning and stuff. When your body breaks down, do you have like a masseuse? So what do you do to rehabilitate yourself during the course of training?
Well, I do a lot of things. Some people may laugh, but I do a lot of meditation every day.
Mm-hmm.
I do Epsom salt bath almost every day. And then I also try to do yoga with my brother.
Right.
My brother owns a yoga studio in Adams Morgan.
Okay.
It's I'm going to plug him. Yoga Chai. And he's an amazing guy because he can see one of your problems and he can fix it with giving you poses. You can say, okay, do this pose, do that pose. And within 10-15 minutes, you can already see a big difference in the injury that you have.
And this is where I'm going to chime in for all you people who have never tried yoga and you think it's a girly thing. That's bullshit. Go ahead and give it a try. Because I'm going to tell you what, I'm nowhere near this gentleman's level or his brother's level. I was at the local gym, and I'm in the back on the mat, and I'm doing one of these. She's like, downward facing dog. And I'm like, shaking fat kid in back. And this old woman looks at me and goes, I'm like, hey, lady, calm down. I'm over here shaking. Leave me alone. Yoga is no joke.
Yeah, it requires a lot of core strength, too, man. I think a lot of people don't realize that. You guys, what's funny? I'm going to kind of switch the subject real quick, but it was amazing when you went up that rope. I mean, Morgan is definitely not part monkey. At least I don't think he is. I never call him that anyway, so I don't want to get put in a triangle or anything. But you went up that rope, effortless, with just your arms. Like I mean, you know, sometimes you don't realize the condition some of you guys are in. Some of the little silly stuff like balance and core strength and your
you
grip.
mean like
because when you go up that rope, you know, and we'll hop.
His spider monkey friend over there?
Yeah, he has another buddy. And what's your buddy's name? Is Todd?
Todd.
Yeah, Todd. This is another gentleman that's been hanging out with us, and he's been doing stuff on the balance ball. And I'm
if
just like,
if we're lucky, if the gentleman will be so kind to demonstrate some of this for us in front of the camera. Here, once the interview's done, we'll probably have that running in this area.
right, you know, you can see some of the
No
stuff
pressure.
they do, but it's pretty impressive, man. I know, we're just trying to.
Putting me on the spot. Thanks.
I know, man. You know what? And I'm gonna. We will say, Morgan is a very, very humble guy. I mean, you really are, dude. You're a class act.
I try to be.
Yeah,
try.
and
It's not
and
easy.
yeah, you know, and we try to push the envelope with him and try to get him on the spot. But you're definitely a humble guy, dude.
I
Definitely.
appreciate that. I mean, I don't know if I am, but I try to be for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Now, tell us a little bit about the students here and what you obviously you teach them BJJ, but
Like some of the services that are offered here
Yeah.
at Yamasaki.
Yeah, I know he's making that face like
I'm being serious.
He thought. See, we get serious real quick. We had a hallmark moment, and Morgan's like, "Are they
they
going to set
messing
me
with
up?"
me?
Already?
Here is very serious, and here I'm expecting a joke here. So
No, I can be serious.
really,
Yeah, it's not very rare, but he can.
okay. We do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We do Thai boxing, boxing. We have a strength and conditioning. We have Capoeira. If I'm going to miss something, I'm sure somebody's going to kick my butt or try to kick my butt later on.
Is there a website they can go to?
Yeah, they can go to grappling.com.
Okay.
That's a pretty sweet website,
Yeah.
by the way.
And
Wow.
and I think that's all that we have.
Okay.
Now, what age range? Is it from little ones to old ones? Or
For Capoeira, I'm not sure. You have to check it out. For Jiu-Jitsu, we have kids.
Right.
We have kids program. We have a lot of kids, and then all ages. So
Okay. Cool.
has
a good thing.
has the popularity of UFC brought in a lot of the that's what I want to be when I grow up. I'll go train jiu-jitsu. Is that
yeah, you have guys who come in here and I want to be on UFC in 2 years or in 1 year, and it's funny because I say okay. And just to let you know, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for close to almost 20 years.
Right.
I've been boxing for 4 or 5 years, and I don't know if I could do UFC yet, you know, or
Yeah.
even be close to doing UFC. I haven't put myself out there to know, but so I think it's people who I don't think they realize. I mean, for me, all those guys who do MMA,
Right.
you have to give a lot of respect
Right.
because they sacrifice a lot.
Right.
They don't make a lot of money when they start.
Right. Yeah.
They start making the money when they succeed. So it's a lot of investment and a lot of pain because a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of hard work and dedication and sacrifices, and that's what I think people have to realize. You don't just do it like a part-time job. It has to be a way of
Yeah,
life.
we say that all the time. I mean, it's only obvious, man. They go through a lot, and it's like George and I we make fun of shit because that's what you guys come to see, to us being clowns. But but in contrast, we do realize what people put into it, man. It's tough, you know. I mean,
yeah, it's
was
if
like
it
you were
was
saying
easy,
last
then
week.
everyone would do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone would do it, and it was like you were saying last week. Once you get cracked in your face real quick, and
All
you know,
bets are
you
off.
could be great, you know. But when someone really pops you hard, and you have to keep your composure, you know, when your eyes are watering and they're throwing like 4 or 5 more in your face, or an elbow or a knee, it takes a certain type of person to
Now,
be able to put up with that.
Here's what I'd love to find out, because since you are such a humble man, I want your genuine 100% don't hold back answer on this one. Okay?
Oh,
Can
here you
you
go.
do that for me?
He's like, should I do
All right,
this?
obviously, you've been training jiu-jitsu since you were probably like knee-high to like your dad. But you said you've been boxing for just 4 to 5 years. Has any of the disciplines come easier than some of the others, or do you find yourself really struggling in one area compared to something else, or is it just all kind of tough?
I think I played soccer and also played tennis. I think I'm pretty coordinated,
Right.
so that helps. And honestly,
So
I
did you
think
play any men's sports, or?
Look, see, look, George has got real.
rugby.
See,
I played rugby. When I was
Okay,
a
you're a
kid.
man.
oh yeah, that's
I
crazy.
played rugby for 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see me,
Did
that's
you-
tougher than the NFL.
Yeah, that's rugby's
crazy.
got to be the
So-
craziest sport.
Yeah, you win.
And honestly, I don't know if I should say this, but I might be more talented in boxing than I am in jiu-jitsu. I think.
Right.
I don't think I'm talented at all in jiu-jitsu, but I know I work hard.
How can you say? I mean, you know, you got me just. How can you say you're not talented when you look at what you've accomplished in it, though?
Because I mean, you know,
Do you-
I mean, a lot of guys they're not necessarily talented, but they work really hard. I
And they
mean,
just- oh, okay.
I don't think I'm talented. I mean, I have a coordination for sports, you know, and that's one thing. But there are guys who are really, really talented, and those guys they're
Right.
famous. I mean, just like if you look, you know, kind of
Now-
what tennis now, women's
Please.
sports.
Yeah, no, it does.
Like Roger Federer, for example, extremely talented.
Right.
That's why the guy's on the top. But I mean,
Yeah.
the top guys in tennis, they're all extremely talented guys.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: if you had to go back 20 years and start over again, what do you think your path would be then?
I would have started when I was younger, and I think I would have, growing up from in France, I would have started judo.
Right.
I started judo, but I stopped right away because it wasn't. I didn't like the school, and I didn't like the environment where they were teaching it. But judo is very important, and it would have helped my jiu-jitsu big time. So if I could go back, I would have stick to judo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because when you get older and you start doing judo in your 30s and 40s, it's a lot of pounding on the body, and it's hard. It's very hard to do judo at a later age, I think.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Not that I would know because I've never done judo.
Sounds like it would hurt.
Yeah. Okay, see, I'm behind the camera right now, and see, one thing I forgot to ask you, Morgan. When you're done with a real tough workout, what do you do?
Well, all the guys usually what we do is we go to Robex. It's a smoothie place. We get a nice smoothie, acai smoothie, and then we get like a shot of wheatgrass, and you're ready to go for the next few hours and train again in the evening. So
Time out. A shot of wheatgrass.
Yes,
Educate.
Where did that? What does that do for one's body?
detoxifies the body. It's really good for you.
I need to get that after I was in the hospital.
Tastes
last
good too.
night,
Some guys
seriously.
don't like it, but it's just a shot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna try it. We're gonna go there after
just
this.
put vodka in it and you'll be fine.
There you go.
Now George can relate.
Yeah, because I can't. No, George will not be drinking wheatgrass. I will live vicariously through this man. And
I'm
that
gonna
makes-
try.
Guess what? Maybe we should go to Robex at the end. I invite you guys to Robex, and we'll make him a shot of wheatgrass.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
and you know what? We can film it, and then when I'm spitting all over Morgan's shoes, he won't be mad.
We'll do it, yeah. All right, well, look, guys, we're going to wrap it up here at Yamasaki Academy in Rockville. I hope you guys saw some of the annotations in the background. That's where you can find this joint, and you can also find
Grappling.com.
grappling.com. You can go there, and if you need to get your yoga down, go visit your brother down at Adams Morgan for anybody who is local, and also go see Justin Case in Northern Virginia for conditioning. We're out.